Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech. The
Number one tech morning show in the world. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. We got a few people on the chat already. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate you, Alidia6095. Also, thank you very much, Tatiana, as well for
Yes,
stopping
indeed.
by. We appreciate you guys rocking with us on this
Appreciate you.
episode of Talk That Tech. Now, if you want, you could also let you know that you could call into the show if there's any topic. The QR code is on the top left right there, whether you're on your phone or if you are on your computer, you could go ahead and do that. You don't have to show your face, but you definitely come in and chat about any of the topics that we have going on right now. So, with that being said, we're going to dive right into it. Thank you so much. So glad that you're here. Thank you so much. We're going to definitely dive into the stories and we're going to definitely start chatting about a few of these topics at hand. Some of these might be affecting you, right? So, we definitely want to hear your point of view on it, get your thoughts, and get right in. And like always, if there's anything that you like, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe because we want to hear from you. With that being said, we're going to go right into the first topic that we have today. This is dealing with good old Tesla. I'm not gonna say take too much, say too much more, but I'm gonna let my brother Trey share more about the topic.
Yeah. So basically, if you are not familiar with the NTSB, that is the National Transportation Safety Board. And they just released their preliminary findings, the early findings on one of the most watched Tesla crashes in America. All right. So I'm going to give y'all exactly what they said because what they found changed a lot of the early stories and original stuff. So the report is one important part of this conversation for sure. Now the data shows that Tesla's full self-driving system wasn't driving the car at the moment of impact. And that's what they thought, right? This was what was supposed to be happening. Now, the driver was actually the one who was driving. And this starts a very huge debate around what's going on. So here's the timeline. A driver in Katy, Texas, they basically activated Tesla's full self-driving, the supervised mode, while driving through a residential neighborhood. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway,
No
I'm not even
bueno.
gonna go there. Not even gonna go there. The speed limit in the residential neighborhood was 30 miles per hour. Now the weather conditions is Katy, Texas. It was perfect. Nothing was going on. No rain, nothing. Dry roads, clear skies. It was in the daytime. All right. At some point in this neighborhood, the driver pressed the accelerator all the way to the floor. All right. Pedal to the metal. Now, the NTSB says that this action immediately overrode Tesla's driving system and control returned back to the driver at that point. Now, y'all, why is he going 73 miles per hour in the in the residential neighborhood? Now, he was going 73 miles per hour before he left the road and crashed into a home that a 76-year-old homeowner lost their life,
Yeah, that's terrible.
right? Now, the driver later told investigators that he had passed out and he initially blamed full self-driving mode. I don't know if y'all remember that. I remember him saying that he passed out and that was Tesla's fault. Now, you passed out in a residential neighborhood that was supposed to be 30 miles per hour. Like, what were you doing? Anyway, not going to go there. The NTSB, they recovered the vehicle data. All right. They got the black box, baby. Actually, I don't even know if Tesla has the black box. They probably just got it straight from the straight from the system. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, the accelerator pedal was pressed to 100%. Now, I don't know about y'all, but it seemed like if you pass out, your feet, everything go limp. So maybe if you had your foot on the pedal, then you let off of it because you ain't really, you're not there. I don't know. That's just me. But it was
Yeah.
pressed 100%. The driver overrode overrode and it was activated. FSD functioning normal before the override. So investigators also recovered the driver's Google search data history. Y'all do know there's nothing really ever deleted. I hope
That's
y'all know
right.
that.
That's
I
right.
hope you know there's nothing ever really deleted. If you delete it, they can get it back. Before the crash, he reportedly searched Tesla FSD not aggressive enough.
Mm,
He
evidence.
not he ain't even writing in full sentences, man. Anyways, he before the crash, he searched Tesla FSD too timid. Come on, man. Anyways, all of this paints a totally different picture than somebody simply trusting the car too much. So the evidence is basically suggesting that he wanted the vehicle to drive more aggressively, evidently 73 miles per hour in a residential neighborhood.
Mm,
Y'all, it's really crazy to me. But anyway, most people are thinking that obviously that this report is gonna clear Tesla, which hey, it definitely is. Uh, and then some people also might say that Tesla is dangerous, right? Like, oh well, it shouldn't have been able to do that anyway. There's gonna be somebody, trust me. But I don't personally think it's that simple. What the report is actually doing right here is Tesla's software in this specific crash. All right, it's going to clear that. It's going to
yeah.
clear Tesla's software here. The bigger question is whether the product creates expectations that the software can't necessarily meet, which is really not that. I mean, that's on people, right? Because we all judge technology by how it performs, but that's not necessarily the only thing. Um, it's also what people believe it can do. And in this point, people or him, he said it should have been more. I don't know. It, that's the one thing about when you're dealing with people. People always not most people, but some people are gonna go to the extreme on
Yeah.
either side, and it really kind of could mess up your name and mess up your stuff. Because I mean, this has been going on for a while. This one case, but anyway,
Mm,
um, I don't know, y'all. The full self driving supervised. They called this feature. That's what they called it. Those last two words really matter, obviously, in this piece. Um, if a million people hear full self driving mode, a lot of them naturally assume that the car drives itself. Obviously, Tesla repeatedly reminds drivers to stay engaged. If you've ever been in a Tesla or you ever driven one, put your hands on the wheel.
yeah.
Hey, touch the wheel, right? So, anyways, critics argue that the name itself creates unrealistic expectations. This case puts that debate directly in front of the regulators. So we'll see what happens, right, with this. But it's really gonna come down to what they judge on this. Now we've already seen the questions with ChatGPT, AI coding assistant, AI medical tools, AI image generation, and now we're in transportation. So yeah, we'll see what goes on here, y'all. Who do y'all think is liable in this spot?
Yeah, who you think is liable for sure? And it ties into a question that we have here. If you drive with Tesla with FSD, does this change how you use it? And should Tesla be liable when a driver overrides the system? Yeah, honestly, as you guys are putting in your thoughts about this, I was watching a video yesterday because I was talking to a friend about the different types of like Chinese electric vehicles, and they kind of compared how even the response rate in regards to how they stop and things of that nature. Like most of them they have the self-driving capabilities, especially electric
Oh yeah.
vehicles out there. So it's just funny that this topic came up today as we're talking about it. But yeah, no, I think that first of all, I never had the opportunity to personally drive a Tesla. I've been in Teslas before, whether they're my Uber or somebody that I know that owns it. Would I use this feature? It depends. Like I think like they said, like if If it's a situation when I'm fully aware and it's just highway miles and stuff, then yeah, I'll go ahead and do something like that. Um, and I'm just going straight for like 30, 40 miles one way. But to completely, so that episode of Black Mirror, I'm not sure if I could fully. Was it Black Mirror? No, it
Hmm.
was another
Oh
movie. It was another
no,
movie.
no. So you have
It was one on ABC when the guy was in the guy was in he got his whole brain downloaded. It was on Amazon. I think it was Amazon. He
oh,
got his
that's
whole
Amazon
brain.
Prime.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got his whole brain downloaded because he was in a autonomous vehicle and his life ended, and there was found out there was a malfunction with it. It was basically was sabotage. After that, I was like, I don't think I'll fully give it away. That's why I haven't been in away mode yet. But 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 listening to the story, I think Tesla already kind of put those parameters in place, but the fact that he was able to override it, that is a part that I think is the issue. You should have some guardrails in place that cannot allow drivers to override it. So that's where I think Tesla really faces that liability. You can have the feature, you can have the disclaimers, but if those guardrails in place, you're gonna be held accountable. And then also, like you mentioned, there's a separate open investigation into this. So it's not even like it's the first time this happened. There's other problems with this, and so that's crazy. A car should never be like 30 miles per hour, 73 miles per hour, fully driving itself. It's wild to me. It's wild to me.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was actually, yeah. You gonna say something about that?
No, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, because then I saw another video I saw. I actually posted it in one of my shorts too, about a fully automated Tesla skipping a school bus, right? So, because people in the comment section were saying like, "Oh, because in that illustration, basically the Tesla was going, and it hit a dummy student, right? It wasn't a real human being, but it hit a dummy student, and people were saying, "Oh, well, at the speed that Tesla was going, anybody that was driving that car, whatever, could hit the dummy." And the people were like, and then the people in the comment section, myself, were like, "Wait, that's not the point. The point was there was a school bus that had the stop sign out, and it bypassed that and hit the dummy." So knowing that, I would not trust a fully self-driving vehicle, especially for residential roads. I think to me, that's the part that I'm like, for highway miles, I'm engaged, but just want to kind of be on cruise control. I'll use it for something like that. But that's my take. That's my point of view.
Yeah, man. I'm on a little bit on the other side. I'll trust it. I'll trust it. I've seen, like you mentioned, especially if you look at the China ones. Hey,
Yeah.
them joints. Look, here's what I saw. I saw them riding down main roads, like not the freeway, but actual just like main roads. If
Hmm.
it can dodge all the scooters and people that it was maneuvering around in China, we're good here. I'm telling you. So it was doing it, man. Full self-driving. It was going around all these people. I'm talking about them scooters, man. They was weaving in and out. I'm like, bro, you making me nervous. And I'm watching it. Anyway, I say all that to say this. I've had a Tesla before. Did put like 20,000 miles on it. And yeah, I've never used it, the full self driving in a residential area, but like a main
Hmm.
street, yes. And then the freeway, obviously, yes. And I did, like, it was good. Like I had no problems with it. I don't know. I, I don't know. I don't know what people are actually doing when
Hmm.
like when it's on, but if you're paying attention, it works. Now, also, there are a lot of other cars now since then that can do it as well, and they work well. It's just like anything else to me, though. Like, pay attention, and if you need to, pop in. But it's gonna warn you, and you just you put your hands on the steering wheel, boom, you back off. But anyway, I don't know. I did want to say this as well. The victim in this one, they are like the legal question is what's not clear here. is, the driver's actions are obviously clear. We can see what exactly happened. The
Yeah.
legal side is not. So the victim's family, remember that 73-year-old
Yeah.
that, passed away. The victim's family, they're suing the driver and Tesla, obviously,
Mm.
and so now the court, that's what they have to examine. Just stuff bigger than that, the vehicle and what went on there. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
all of these things will go into account as different companies continue to build, as Tesla continues to build. Can they design the systems differently? Um, could the software have prevented acceleration to 73 miles per hour in a residential neighborhood
Yeah.
while driver assistance is activated? Now, the question is also on that. If I do that, I mean, am I kind of, what if I don't know. It's tough to say. And that's where, you have people who are like, oh, we need more control. But then you have the others like, we need less. It's like,
Mm.
I'm not going to call them a dummy, but it's people like this that kind of mess that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway, I don't know.
I might call him a dummy because I'm reading through the story again. And what he did was he looked to override it, right? But at the same time, he had the pedal. He pressed the pedal according
Yeah,
to our history.
100%.
So 100%. So he's saying it's self driving, but the fact of the matter is that once it gets to that point, Tesla basically the FSD turns off and says you in control. So he's
Yeah.
basically blaming it for something that he technically was in control of.
You
And
didn't
I don't know,
read your stuff,
you didn't read your
your
stuff. So you
manual.
you try to frame Tesla, but the joke's on you. Uh and so that's what I think is the issue is like literally like the issue is that he had control. So is Tesla reliable at the end of the day? Maybe because they do have that option that there's some sort of liability in it, but they do make like I think you said it yourself, like they'll let they bing, keep your hand on the steering wheel, whatever. They'll probably let you know FSD is off, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming or something like that. So in this case, it just I guess because it's a Tesla to that degree, but it's on this guy, Michael Butler.
Hey,
In my
hey,
opinion.
and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. We we don't have Waymos here. I don't believe, and if we do, they might be in Austin somewhere. I don't know, but what we did just get, and I'm probably gonna head to Dallas just to test it out because they're
Mm.
only in a little, not a little spot, but a larger little piece in Dallas. Is we got the Tesla robo taxis, and I need
Oh.
to see if I need to, if I need to start me a little fleet at some point.
Oh
And so I
man.
want to test it out. They've been rolling around everywhere out there, um, getting to the bag.
Mm.
That's 24/7, and that one's more like the way.
Yeah.
I think some of them have a guy in the passenger seat, in the front just in case, but some of them don't. It's also full self driving. It's going to get you to the spot. So again, all of this stuff, all it's going to do is they're going to hit the updates and make it a little better, and then yeah, I tell you this, it's not going away.
No.
They're not going to take it away.
No, this is definitely the future. They're improving on it as
Not when
more
all
software.
these all these other brands putting them in there. Mercedes, obviously, like you mentioned, you got the Waymo, GM,
Mhm.
Apple. Apple is supposed to be. Come on now, it's not going away.
And we've all seen the self-driving parking, like that feature alone. It's gonna stay around. People will be like parking their cars left and right.
No,
Uh
seriously, if
we
you
talked
can't,
about yeah.
if you can't park between two cars, hey, it's perfect. You don't need
just,
to.
just set it and forget it. Literally just put it and walk out.
Who
And
needs to
that
learn how to parallel park, man?
oh man, no, that's the truth, y'all. Listen, if you guys have any thoughts, go ahead and put in the comment section. If you want to call into the show, you can use the QR code on the top left there to do so. All you gotta do is click the like you're taking a screenshot, click the QR code, and the link will pop up. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on this. Have you drove a Tesla? Do you use the full self-driving mode? And if it's not, tell us why. Tell us why. We definitely want to hear from you. So we're gonna dump into real quickly our quick section at little one of our sponsors here. that we have at the show, the Tech Wire. The segment is brought to you by Secure the Badge, your ultimate guide for upcoming tech events. Now, I just want to let you know that securethebadge.com, they do have some events on there, but mainly for the month of August. We're gearing up for that. So if you want, go ahead and check out all the dates that they have for August. There also is a community that you could join where you can find out about upcoming events. You could network, you can connect with folks, and then you could also get free tickets as well as opportunities for speaking at these events. So go ahead and go to Secure the Badge. Again, check out Secure the Badge for more. Securethebadge.com to find out more about that. But yeah, I also wanted to just jump into this other conversation that we have. Before we do, man, how was your weekend? How did everything go?
Yeah, it was solid, man. Not like it was pretty eventful, but not too crazy. Saturday went to we had actually three events planned Saturday, which was way too much. We would have had to
Uh,
split some time, but
yeah.
one of them actually fell out, or like it got canceled. So
Hmm.
it ended up being better for us. So earlier in the day, well, first of all, Thursday, my mother-in-law got the baby. So
Oh, nice.
Thursday, Friday, actually Saturday and Sunday, we did not have her, but Saturday we went and picked her up. So there was a birthday party for one of our kids, our friend's kid. So we went, picked her up, and then took her to the birthday party. Had a good time there. Went and dropped her back off after a few hours, and then we had a event that evening. It was a couples night,
Mm,
just with some friends and some newer couples that we had not met as well, and just had a good time eating, um, laughing, and then had a few games as well that we played,
nice.
um, including one that you probably would have enjoyed as well, man. It was like because these friends they, UNT music majors and like
Oh,
all the way up,
yeah.
music professors and stuff. So
Mm,
they created a game where you had all music, like you could basically like you hear like I don't know 5-10 seconds of a song,
I
and you
guess it.
gotta, hey, what's the title and the artist, and they had some hard ones in there, man. But it was really fun. Had a good time there. Then Sunday didn't do too much, man. We went to church, but it was a different service. It was our pastor's birthday, so
Oh, nice.
really just had a great event. Had some artists come out as well, and just kind of, I mean, basically like mini concert, but had a good old time. A good old time.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, man. I
Yeah. How
love to
was
hear it.
yours?
Man, mine was good overall. Like what we did was Saturday, we took out it was raining like crazy, by the way. So if you are in the Northeast,
Mm,
some people got floods. So like I'll start there. First thoughts prayers with y'all because it was bad. Like it's in parts of New York City, people were like knee deep in water. Like just walk
I
like it
heard
was.
about that.
Yeah, you could probably get like you got probably get a little speedboat out there, honestly. It was that much water. So that's first and foremost. We didn't get affected by the storms, but a lot of people did. So for everybody it was different. But for the most part, it was good. Like we ended up going to take the kids to like they do some workouts things here, like fun activity for some of the boys. I took them out during the rain, through the rain and everything like that. And then I took my wife out for a date. We just had a time to just chill and relax, go to a place that had like a pool and eat, watch a movie, and just chill until like it was time to go home. And then after that, the next day was we had a watch party for the World Cup. If y'all had who you had to win it in the chat, let us know. Put it in the comment section if you were Team Spain or Team Argentina. I was Team Spain. I think they were the better team overall. And I can tell you one thing: that goalie from Argentina did not play games though. He, for the most part, until it got to the extra time, he was blocking everything. I was like, this guy is a go gadget. Like
Yeah,
he go
yeah.
gadget arms, everything like that. So, but I'm not gonna lie, I took a nap right before that, and then I catch most of the game later on. But after that, there was a farewell for somebody on our team at the church, and so we wished them a farewell. Went out to Olive Garden and had a good time. But that was a good game. And then the game Saturday, wow,
Man,
that game.
dude. I wish France would have played like that versus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was something
Versus
else.
Argentina, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was actually, so when I was at the kids event, obviously I'm not a kid, so first of
Hmm.
all, I wasn't outside. It was hot than a mug. It was like a little pool party. I wasn't
Yeah.
outside. I was in the house watching that game. So
Mm.
yeah, Saturday was crazy.
Yeah. Everybody was like, that was the game
It really
of,
was, man.
of the World Cup. Like
Yeah.
and people like they rather have a game like that than what they had yesterday. So if you missed
I didn't
out
even get to see
yesterday,
that one. Yeah, I didn't even get to see that one
if you
yesterday.
missed out yesterday, then you're like, you're right. The best one was on Saturday.
Dang,
So
that's crazy.
yeah, but it was definitely it was a good weekend for sure. It was definitely great. So really glad to take this weekend away and really get the chance to reflect. But one thing I would say, reflecting on this week, we did see a turn of events because this actually implicates a lot of different things. But Apple just got back to the number one spot. If you remember, we talked about Nvidia taking that spot, but they just got back to the spot where they are now the number one most highly valued company right now on the market. And so they just knocked off of Nvidia, but this is a little bit more to it, and we're going to dive into this right now to share why this is a little bit more to the story. So, if you remember, we talked about Nvidia taking over. Right now, as of July 17th, I would say the date, the numbers have changed. So, Apple's market cap actually shot up to about 4.91 trillion, y'all. We're talking trillions of dollars now. We're not talking billions anymore. Trillions of dollars. So 4.91. Nvidia, the same day, they're around a 4.86 trillion, basically down 3.5% in one session. So this is big right here. If you had stock in Apple, congrats. 57.8% gain over the past year, with 23% Apple stock gain in 2026 alone. And there's a couple of things that contributed to it. Now, before I even talk about that percentage, July itself was 15.7% in regards to the gain that they had in their stock. So the reason why this happened was for a couple of different reasons. And it's funny because sometimes you're thinking, oh wow, we know Apple for not changing much in their phones. We know them for like the Macs and so on. So how could they have made this change? Basically, on Friday, Apple overtook to become the worst, most valuable company because of a couple of different things. And we'll talk about the Apple side first, right? So we know that for a while, since 2025 of April, they held that number one spot. They were basically winning there before losing out to Nvidia. But the stock surged about 23% in 2026 alone because of Apple's investment in Siri, right? I don't know if you remember, we talked about this. Siri was whack for phone don't react. But
Yeah,
the
forever.
SIRI was very, very, very whack for a while. I tried so many times to give SIRI, the pleasure of the doubt, right? I would say, hey, can you do this for me? Can't understand. And I'll get frustrated, right? What they decided to do was finally invest in it, and they basically unveiled it recently. And also, Tim Cook decided to hand over the reins of CEO to John Timas in September. So that changing the guard, their investment into Siri, those were the big things. Now, Wall Street is betting that because there are so many people that have Apple devices, myself included, right? There's so many people that have it. By them just taking the time to invest in Siri, they have now become the company that has put AI in everybody's pocket at scale. And technically, it was there before, right? But the improvements they gave them, that he's like, I got both, two phones, one for the plug, one for the road. Uh,
No, them old.
Old apples. But yeah, no, that is exactly what it's looking like, right? Because they have this here, and I'm going to talk about one more thing too, because I had actually was listening to some stories about this over the weekend, and what really kind of popped out was the fact that we have a lot of privacy, right, on our phones, allegedly, and because of that privacy, there's so much that they're trying to tap into that data that they don't have yet, which in a way is kind of scary, but we already kind of know that they have that plan. And you said it earlier, nothing is completely deleted, right? So their whole bet, what investors are betting in, is that people can leverage that data within the phones through AI to then get learn more about us, so that of course they can market to us better and all these different things. So they're betting on that as well. So this is not just AI, but it's data is still gold, right? And they're still trying to find ways to get that untapped data. So we'll talk about that probably more down the road and how that impacts you. But let's go to the NVIDIA side of this. So NVIDIA had held the spot pretty much for about a year, since June of last year. And it was the first company in history to cross 5 trillion in the market cap at the time. So that's around October of last year. But on July, it fell about 3.5%. And the reason why is because investors are asking, how long can this AI chip demand last? You know, competitors like Micron crossed 1 trillion in May, and the AI infrastructure trade is maturing. So Nvidia isn't finished, but the early rush may have peaked. That's what people are saying. They're thinking this AI bubble right now is going to make that demand for chips lessen over time. AI infrastructure is probably more demand. There's probably more creation of AI infrastructure than the demand needs. So they're looking at this and they're saying this AI bubble might actually pop soon. That's what they're saying, and so that's why people are having less putting less into Nvidia and others, and we could talk about that afterwards. But here's what really it is: phase one, who makes the picks and shovels when it comes to the AI race? Nvidia did. They buy more chips from us, right? These chips burn out. You need more? Here you go. But who sells AI to 2 billion people? That's Apple. That's what Apple, Google, Microsoft. They basically say buy the platform. So if you're in the platform game with AI, there you go. You're in a good spot right now. They didn't lose because AI is slowing down. That's Nvidia didn't lose that. It lost because investors are now looking at the next layer of the stack. So the question shifted from who builds the GPUs to who puts AI in the product of people and actually hold it every day. And that is why Apple is winning right now. So I'm gonna pause there because there's more that I could definitely say about that, but definitely want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Apple taking over? It definitely has a lot deeper meaning than what it meets the eye, like Transformers. So definitely
So
want to pause here and hear from you.
yeah. So I mean, bro, I totally agree with what you said with the phase one and phase two. Um, exactly correct. Like phase one, when you're investing and you're making money on the investment side, which is what we're talking about here, it was rewarding the companies that built, like, if I were to change it, like built those highways for it to, for AI to be on. So that's phase one. Then phase two, now you have those companies that are collecting the tolls on the highway, which um, you had building the infrastructure, and then now you have the companies that own billions of daily users that are capturing the value. So it's the same. If you look at it, the cycle is the same. Every single major technology cycle, it follows the same pattern. The companies that build that infrastructure that it's on, they come in first as far as money wise, and then the companies that are controlling the distribution, they normally become even larger on that piece. So if you think
Mm,
about the internet, you had the internet, boom, Cisco, they built the networking equipment, all of that. Google built destinations,
mm,
smartphones, Qualcomm chips, boom, they had the chips. And Apple built that experience around it. Obviously, they now have their own chips and stuff, but infrastructure starts it, and then platforms monetize like crazy after. So yeah, I think we'll be seeing the back and forth,
mhm.
obviously, like we have been, but nonetheless, you for sure want to pick the right ones, and stay in the game. But yeah, it's interesting outlook as well, right?
Mhm. Yeah, no, I think, and this is a slightly off topic, but it does kind of correlate with this. Right now, we're going to see another shift that we're going to see in regards to why Nvidia and others American companies are probably going to have their and this is my assumption, their stock kind of go down, is because we're seeing from the other side of of the world, really, where there are other companies that are having large language models do similar things, May not be completely 100% exactly like it, but 90% for a lot cheaper and a lot less energy consumption and a lot less money burn. Was looking at a report about this yesterday, and basically the amount of money that a lot of enterprise companies are spending to buy chips and build their own and basically use all these different things, and they're paying tokens for it and not seeing the value, is so much higher than other companies, and I'll speak specifically in China, who are basically doing the same thing for a fraction of the cost. And because what they do is they're seeing like, hey, this is you guys do the hard stuff first. We'll just come and copy it afterwards. and literally they copy it, and then it's not 100% accurate, but for a portion of everything that they taking to do it, it's like I
Bro.
think I saw a graph between years. It was like a 3 billion increase, I think, for the Chinese portion of spend versus how much more for us, hundreds of billions of dollars in regards to the U.S. So that's something we got to watch out too. Now, obviously, you know, the politics are involved, so a lot of things say, oh, they can't come over here, they can't do that, and whatever. We already have those kind of like those restrictions in place, but it's something definitely to keep an eye on, because if things keep going at this pace, U.S. companies will be like, I don't, the clause and whatever, that they're cool, but if I could get that for a portion of it, I'm gonna go that route. So that's something to look at, because that will impact Nvidia, because they create the chips that are being used. Will they people still be using or consuming the chips as much if they don't have to have all that compute power to get things done? We will see. But yeah, we will definitely see. I actually threw up a question here. I want to throw it up again for y'all in case people are investors here. If you had $1,000 to invest right now, Apple, Nvidia, or neither, which one and why would you go with? If you had $1,000 to invest, which one would you choose? And honestly, I'm not too sure if I know the answer to this one. Right now, is I don't know if it's all an Apple, right? I might split it up if I get the opportunity to, because the market is very volatile right now. Things are volatile in general. Like we talked about it. This was only a year ago where they were sitting on top of the world, and now Apple eclipsed them by a little bit, and then all of a sudden they may have something else that released, and now they're top of the world again. So for me, I would try to find a way to divide it up.
Yep, you got to. That's that's one of the things that made people like, I don't know, a Warren Buffett so great, so great at what he did, right? Like for
Yeah.
him, he obviously invests in what he considers moats,
Mm.
which are companies that have it by the reins. Think of a Coca-Cola, etc.,
Mm.
Geico. But ideally, you want to be in a position where when either side, you can win. And
Yeah.
these are two sides of a boat. Like, so if you think about it, okay, boom, I invest in the infrastructure side in one of the best companies on that side, and then you invest in one of the best companies on the product side. So now, when one is up, boom, you're up. When the other one is up, boom, you're up. So I would say, yeah, some kind of way. Now the win and like what year and all that kind of stuff, that matters only for the percentage. Because like if this was a while back, you probably want majority of that in Nvidia,
Hmm.
as well. So yeah, all of that matters. But yeah, I probably would do the same thing.
Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Which one would you invest in and why? We definitely want to hear from you, because it's just an interesting conversation. There's a lot of things going on right now with everything with this whole with chat GBT. I remember everybody was like, oh, big on chat. Now a lot of people have moved away from chat, and they're looking to Claude. Some are even looking deeper in the Claude code and building out things that they did not think they could build on their own. They thought they needed a developer team, pay that person 200 to 300K, and all sorts of things are happening right now. So definitely, and as one review interview I was looking to, there's a person that basically said, "Hey, I wasn't even big on AI at all," and they're a business owner, and they said, "Listen, at this point, if you don't use it, you could be left behind." It's and they confirm what we always talk about, but like, listen, you you got to use this thing or you be left behind. And it talked about it not just in business, but people are using it for their daily lives, and things that they didn't even think about or imagine before they're leveraging it. So it's like up to your level of imagination. My wife this morning, even though it's a little thing, right? She was just talking about this graphic that she was making for this beef barbecue that she's working on, and I thought about it. I was like, back in the day, I would have to grab somebody from Fiverr, wait a couple of days for them to do something exactly like this, make revisions on it, they send it back to me, make some more revisions on it, send them the money, make sure it's an exchange rate for them if they're not in the right place, and by maybe have that done in 7 to 10 days. She's doing it basically like pillow talk, sitting inside of the bed. Like, hey, does it look good? All right, let me fix the chat. I need you to change this and this. Like we're in a different world that if we don't leverage what we have, you definitely are either losing money or you're being left behind. And I think that's what this story kind of also ties into when it talks about putting AI in the hands of 2 billion people. These are the use cases that we can see the greatest ROI on. The little things, right? The customer service calls. Like right now, you have a better experience than a traditional IVR, where people are like, okay, I want to talk to a human being, but this actually is not that bad.
Yeah.
Versus back in the day, right?
Like I'm not even listening back in the day. Zero, zero, zero,
And it's still talking. You're
zero.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's a different world now. It's a different world now. So that's where I think that's why this story is such a good story, y'all. It's such a good story for us all to just kind of think about, because it really shows where AI is going. But listen, y'all, I know we're getting close to the end, and wanted to actually, you know what? I might save this story for next week, maybe, and then we could just jump into our brown box special. So if you're not familiar with this, our brown box special is basically where we share stories of people that got fired, hired, or unfortunately let go from their jobs. Right? We've all been through it, and it's just our opportunity just to let it out how we feel, and also just to hear how others have dealt with this one. But this one is a wild one. They were fired for an office affair. This situation.
Ooh.
So in some cases, is it valid? Yay or nay? We'll find out right now. So, hello, I'm a 22-year-old male, and I'm still a college student. Not too long ago, last year, a couple of years ago, approximately, and it's very detailed, by the way, 11 a.m. in the morning, I received a message from my superior that I had been terminated from my place of work. I've been with the company in some capacity for about 2 to 3 years, and this year was my first year that I had worked my way into the corporate office. My hope was that I would be able to work after I got my degree and eventually long enough to qualify to go and attain a master's degree. I see myself at the workplace for easily the next 8 years, and that's all gone now. The lady who worked in the office next to mine is double my age, married, and immediately and outrageously started flirting with me the first day I was there. Granted, we had seen each other before, but just when talking and taking smoke breaks, right? However, it was to the point of sexual harassment, which I know is odd for a man to say, but that's how hard she was going. And just to prove my point, I was being groped below the belt. Hold on, that's crazy. Constantly, and told explicit things she wanted she wanted me to do to her, and she wanted to do with me involving certain parts of the human body. That's crazy that you let that happen, first of all. However, after about 2 months of rejecting her advancements, I caved, and we had explicit relationships for 3 months now. Not anymore. I am terrified that I'll not be able to get a corporate job in the future because of this. On top of all this, my family is extremely religious, and if I share that I have been fired for this type of relations in the workplace, they will cut off all my funding for my education and half of the rent they help pay. Oh, there's another thing. Without that job, I only have enough money to last until January. And he said this in like September, I think. until January, assuming no large accidents happened to me and my car. I took less collegiate courses for the job and spent a couple $100 for monitors, etc., because they allowed me to work remote some days. Oh, the irony of being terminated on this day. I know I was wrong and I regret it immensely. Does anyone have any corporate insight to know if this will follow me everywhere I go looking for work, or should I break the news to my family? Do you guys have any advice in the comment section? Let us know. The young man is hurting here. First of all, it's wild that even got that she
Yeah,
even like
yeah,
thought
it
she could
is.
touch you like that. That's crazy.
And that's
HR.
man.
Back away,
Listen,
back away. Beat it off with a stick.
should have had the whistle, man.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
away, get away, man. Look, it's one of those things, man. You know, you gotta always stay vigilant. You gotta always, whether you're a man or a woman,
yeah,
listen, man, there are people who are sent on assignment to try you, and you gotta realize that and recognize it and understand your assignment. When you understand your assignment, then it's harder for you to get distracted with that type of stuff, you know.
yeah.
And that's what I'll say there. You have your assignment. You just got into like on the corporate side, and you're moving up the ladder. Boom! It's the perfect time for the enemy to drop in on you and
Mm,
try and take you down a few pegs. But with you're young, and so it's hard to recognize that. You think it's all fun and games. Um, she was married, so
mm,
she was good. Now, I do not condone it, obviously, but
mm-hmm.
what I will say is, if you were gonna do that, you definitely should have had some set up where she gotta be paying some money. Like you should have not this. It shouldn't have been this January. You should have been having enough for next January. She's double your age. Yeah, she got some stability there.
Oh my
Um, I'm just saying. Now,
god,
I'm
that's
saying
funny.
if you were gonna do
Insurance
that,
policy.
there's no way uh, she should be able to do that for free. That's just me. The other side of that is also, yeah, like I mentioned, yeah, you really just have to know, man. It's never worth it in the end. Like, it's so much turmoil and stuff that can come from it.
Yeah.
I worked in an office. I've seen so much, man. When I was with the pharmaceutical company, like the pharmacy side of actually dialysis company, I worked with 1,200 people. 800 were women.
Mm,
I've seen a lot of stuff.
mm-hmm.
Here's how I moved. Okay, I moved so strict and with purpose. They actually thought I was gay.
They were like, Trey, you not interested? Like, I'm good.
They
Yo,
thought I was gay. But it's one of those things, because it was important to me. It was
yeah.
important that my reputation wasn't tarnished. I seen guys come in week one,
Mm,
got multiple girls arguing
mm.
and going back and forth because he's already been with multiple. So it's one of those things
Crazy.
where stuff you don't need, that brings extra stress. And I want the least amount of stress as possible. I don't want to have to think about anything if I
Mm,
don't have to,
yeah.
especially on that side. So yeah, it's tough. That's a tough one, man. Lesson learned.
Mm.
It was a bought lesson for sure. You know.
Yeah. Hopefully he learned it. Honestly, I'm with you. Before I answer the question, I'm with you though. I'm like, how platonic is my friendship, girl? Yeah, you do your thing, girl. Like I'm like the super friendly, like oh like he's just a friend. Like I make it so clear. You want to hug? Oh, that side hug is cool. We're good, right? You want to set up that boundary right away so that people either like they don't even think about you that way. There's some things that happen in the office that I'm not privy to because people see me in a certain light. They're like,
Yep.
oh, it's Joe. He ain't gonna be all. He ain't gonna want to do this and do that. We will go do this and do that, whatever. Yeah, we'll keep him out of that. I just found out And I think I don't say on too much. I just found out that there was somebody. There's two people that are in a relationship in my office. Probably like last week, maybe, and they've been dating for like 2 years. Like I have no like that's how far removed I am from like any office stuff. And I like it that way. Why? Because it makes me like I'm here for a purpose. I ain't here for all that. If you want some advice from me, I will gladly give it. We ain't gonna do any extracurricular activities.
Now, that happened a lot. Yeah.
Stranger danger, back away. So for me, it's like that's the best way to kind of keep it. Just keep it business, keep it cordial. Don't be disrespectful, of course. Be polite, but you have your boundaries, right?
And one way to help that, man, I just thought about it as well. Just to throw out some little nugget as well, man. One way that helped like insulate me as well is I had older people around me that they were blockers. So it like for me when I'm talking to the older lady in the office, that was my like my protection as well, because the same women who thought they could go through her to get to me, she was actually like, girl, he married, you need to move around, blah, 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 like all of that. So that was something that did help me as well, is just having upstanding people in the vicinity as well to just kind of block. So it was yeah.
No, I totally I'm with you on that one, man. I'm totally with you on that one. He had a question. They had a question though that they said, would this go with you? I don't think necessarily it would. And a lot of people in the Reddit comments kind of agreed to, like, it wouldn't go around with you, but you just learn your lesson. You don't do it again. It's just, I want to know what happened to her though, because like if he's saying that she groped him, like that's term for her termination. Like he should have blew the whistle and said, well, guess what?
Well,
maybe he might have a little lawsuit if you wanted to go that path too.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they've been indulging for the last 3 months, so I don't really know if he would. Now, if he would have did it back when it happened, probably. But he just got into the corporate side of the company, so he probably was like, man, I guess I gotta endure this. So big
corporate entanglement, I tell you.
What was what was the name of that movie? Marcus. Man, I can't think. Boomerang.
Boomerang.
Yeah, I ever seen Boomerang. Marcus was trying to get that deal done, man. She didn't own she didn't own nothing. Couldn't do nothing.
Oh man, it's crazy, bro. Crazy, y'all. Listen, y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us on this episode, man. This was a good Brown Box special. Definitely brought up a lot of conversation. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you for everybody that commented and shared, as well as liked this. And if you have anything you want to add after the show, there's a comment section there as well. So go ahead, put your comments below. We'll read it, we'll review it, we'll like it, we'll respond. Thank you so much for rocking with us on this episode of Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world. We'll see y'all next week, baby.
Peace.